Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video, we are taking a look at semiconductors, how things are looking like with Nvidia, AMD, ARM, Broadcom, Micron, Sandisk, TSM, Intel, and Seagate. We'll take a look at today's rebound, how much potential it has across multiple stocks. As I mentioned already, if you have seen my morning videos as well, that today was a rebound day, and also last night I called out for my members that it's a rebound day. We got that, right? But is this rebound strong enough, especially in these semiconductors, that we can see another day of upside tomorrow? Let's talk about all of that, okay? Because not all stocks are behaving similarly. What Nvidia is doing, definitely Micron is doing very different than Nvidia. So we have to look at each and everyone's price action, and whatever your interest is in whichever stock, that you will have in this video a clear understanding of how you can be looking at for the next day, that is tomorrow, and the rest of the week for the price action on these ones. So with that, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So Nvidia continues to remain in the weakness. We did lose yellow zone on Friday. That was a more of an overall structural break, and today's rebound has just been a rebound. Okay, we did see some bounce, but it is still selling off in the rebound, guys. Okay, very simply put it, your Nvidia is not in an upside strength. Your Nvidia is in a downside weakness. To even have that strength to come back again, Nvidia will still have to get above that $211 to $212 zone. That is still the zone that Nvidia will have to get out and above. I will move this now to that very same area, because we do have, because when price action evolves, so does our zones of focus. Previously it was a bigger zone because that was acting as a support, but now the price action has evolved. We only need to focus on the near term zone. That is also a narrower zone. Okay, so it's that simple. Nvidia right now, your strength will not come on Nvidia until we get above this 212 zone. So what does it mean? Below this, your bias continues to remain to the downside in the structure and in the price action. Above this only is where bias will start to come back slowly and slowly to the upside. Okay, yes, it is Nvidia. Okay, it is right now in the negative structure. AMD, now AMD did the bounce as well today, and it has at least regained the zone of the yellow zone. That was a critical structure that, as if we can do it, it's going to be fine. Is this fine? Let's get to the hourly interval. I would say it is fine enough and definitely better than Nvidia, and it is showing more strength. Now what we want to see tomorrow, because look, after a break of structure, one day of rebound is not sufficient. That is a good start, but for a continuous strength, which in this case would be a possible high retest again, it does take, after a break of structure, at least 2 days with the rebounds and seeing how the rebounds are, to give it a confirmation and stabilization for further continuation to the upside. So what we have to look for in AMD for that, and that is, we have to hold yellow zone. Yes, there's some room of pullback can happen, but we have to come back ASAP. Even if we start to dip into yellow zone, your upside bias will start to again diminish. Okay, and then technically will remain the negative side. It's important we hold the line above, that is 486 area, this significant level, okay, which is pretty much what I am highlighting here, right? That's the significant level we need to stay above. You can see it did break out above that after first hour of rejection at that significant level. Excuse me. It did break out the next candle, and then wow, excuse me, and then it has been continuing to hold it, right, for multiple hours. And that's why these significant levels are so important, all marked for you by my tools. And as we can hold through it and above it, we can push up. Okay, but that's the zone. So technically, yes, above this your bias is to the upside, but below that is your stop loss. But the reason I'm saying is that you still have to be very cautious here because it's coming through a rebound. So that's why rebound are weaker confirmation of upside. We have to see a stabilization with that. So that's why I'm saying even though it's turning around, but you still have to be very cautious, which means a smaller position to be traded. ARM. ARM, unfortunately, guys, stays in the weakness. This was the zone I mentioned, right? Yellow zone that you are seeing here. I mentioned that only above this, there's a possibility of strength come back. You can see it did retest that, but didn't go above that. And thus it remains in the weakness still. So ARM is very simple right now. It is still in the weakness. And yeah, so unless we're not getting above it, that retest possibility is not going to build up. And it's going to remain the weakness below that. Broadcom, you can see it did rebound, but however, it's still rejected below that 404 area, the one that I have been saying. Below this, this is a strong resistance moving forward, and it is still rejecting there. So Broadcom is still in the negative structure for us right now. Okay, that's how simple it is. Now let's get to Micron, because so many of you have so many chips on Micron. Sometimes I go on Reddit, I don't know why. After going to Reddit, I just wish I never went to Reddit for some reason. Okay, but anyways, I don't type there anything, I just go and read. Okay, so but still, you know, hence it's just like you see one dip in Micron and then you have theories out there on Reddit that it's just manipulation. Micron is supposed to go through the roof. These downsides are manipulation. Don't you worry, guys, right? All that stuff, diamond handed and all that stuff, right? So anyways, so but let's take a look at the technicals here. Let's take a look at the price action. What it is telling us. So look, I did mention that yes, it was in the multi-day weakness since 1044. If you have been seeing my videos, you already knew that from 1044 we were in the weakness. Okay, now also if you have access to my tools, right, I'll show you real quick on the swing side as well on the hourly interval. Let's turn it on, my easy day and swing trading tool. As you can see, this is where structure really started to give us some sign of weakness, became down, and you can see the zone that I gave you, that above this strength will build up at least for a day to begin with. And you can see structure turned green for us there, at least for the rebound. Now it's just a rebound because we are still below the cloud. You get my point, right? That's how easy it is to trade with my tools. If you need access to my tools, details you will find in the description of this video. Okay, and easy peasy bullish trade above the cloud, which was a part after it came back again from the pullback, rather than the green structure and all. Anyways, so now what? So Micron is definitely stronger with the rebound. Now, as you can see, even though it's a rebound, and I just showed you a green structure here, we are still rejecting at this significant level above. So it's a good rebound, but Micron is looking stronger for a retest of the highs. And as if this structure, tomorrow if we see a close above 956, definitely it's gonna go for a all-time highs retest. Okay, and then we'll see if it makes a new all-time highs as well. But right now, yes, it is it's stronger, and as if it can break out above tomorrow 956, Micron has a much more room to push up. All right, otherwise if we stay below that, there's a pullback room here right now on Micron, 956, 955 below. But if we can still hold yellow zone and stabilize here, Micron still has a room to stabilize and in coming days go for a retest of the highs. But this is still the zone, an important zone, and as just showed you, Micron is in the rebound right now, a stronger rebound though. Okay, if we lose yellow zone, guys, then unfortunately weakness will come back in and overall structure will take precedence. Rebound scenarios will be over. Now that's what I said that early on, if these as rebounds are expected, that's how I said to my members that this week will start with rebounds, and if in a couple of days rebounds can stabilize and price action give us confirmation, we may see a stabilization and then an upside again. Sandisk also is holding better. definitely better than Nvidia, and the post market is also going up. So above the yellow zone also. Okay, retest highs is possible, and with, or we'll see if it little bit with the retest a lower high. We'll see. Right now it's too far to talk about that, but the thing is that it's also a stronger rebound, got above the yellow zone and then pushed up. Now what? Well, technically we have to stay above yellow zone. If it can hold tomorrow also above yellow zone, just like Micron, it's looking in a really good standing for the rest of the week. Okay, if it doesn't, then unfortunately problem will continue. TSM held the yellow zone. TSM is a very slow mover, guys. You have to be patient technically on this thing. This is better only traded. You get some extension, take partial profits, pullback happens. If you want to reload, otherwise continue to hold the original position. Technically it is holding a bullish structure, so as long as it holds above yellow zone, it is fine. Below that, definitely not. But there is definitely an amount of multi-day weakness that you should be careful. Intel did rebound today, guys. Okay, however, it's just a bounce right now on Intel. Right now for me, it's just not there for me to tell you that it's gonna go to new highs. Intel still has more room to stay sideways, unless I see it get above 118 and 117. It's time that we move this box a bit here. If Intel can get above that somehow, then only there's again a new high test possible. Otherwise right now it's just a bounce on Intel as well. Seagate is also holding a zone, and this one I have mentioned that it's definitely been, even after Friday's sell-off, is stronger candidate in the AI stocks. It is holding. Let's get to the hourly interval to see, is it all good still? It is all good actually, but you have to manage your risk here. Definitely you can see it did push up from a significant level, pushed up to the next significant level. That's where some slowness is coming. If it can somehow hold above yellow zone, technically your structure still remains bullish on this thing. This thing going in this week was, already bullish for us. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. Definitely there are many other stocks that I cover in my members only videos, and anything that comes out, I've also put out posts on my Patreon. Okay, so anyways, that's all, and with that, we'll see you in the next videos. Take care. Bye.